November, the race for the White House is only getting closer. A new round of Fox News polling shows an extremely tight race between Trump and Biden in several key battleground states. Take a look. The poll found former President Trump with a 6-point edge over Biden in Georgia and a 3-point lead in Michigan. They tied at 48% in Pennsylvania and a tie in Wisconsin as well. And that same poll shows President Biden's approval numbers in total free fall. His disapproval rating was at least 55% in all 4 of those crucial swing states. So what I found so fascinating about our Fox polling was that RFK is a game changer, and he can be a game changer in either direction. So I want us to take a look at this. So look at Georgia. Trump leads by 6 in a head-to-head poll. You add in RFK Jr., Trump's lead expands to 7 points. Then you flip over to Michigan. Trump leads by 3. You bring in RFK, the third-party candidates, and then Trump only leads by 2. Pennsylvania is a tie. You add in the third-party candidates, and what do you find? Trump wins in that case in Pennsylvania. But then you add in the third-party candidates in Wisconsin. It's a tie, but then Biden ends up pulling it out, Dr. Siegel, by 2. So you really see RFK, he makes movement. He does.
There's no question about that. I'm looking very closely at Michigan because of Rashida Tlaib. And to your point earlier about appeasement strategies that Biden is doing now awkwardly at all the wrong times. You know, you think about Tlaib and that mob in central Michigan, in Southfield, in Oak Park, that are just militant, pro-Palestinian, and he's playing to that crowd to try to get Michigan, in my opinion. Other thing is, at the same time, Biden is putting out these ads that he's totally with it. I have a rule against saying on TV that I can diagnose you across a video screen, but he's making it harder and harder, talking about cannibals and his uncle and what the heck is that?
Yes. So you're talking about the sharp as a knife ad, which we will play. Here is Biden. He's telling us all he is sharp as a knife. Watch.
I love to tell a story about meeting President Biden because when you meet him, this guy's as sharp as a knife. They have nothing else to attack because they can't attack the things that he's doing that are so good for this country.
Well, this man may be the only person in America that calls Biden sharp as a knife.
Well, and why use like a knife, right? I mean, I don't know. What about just really smart? How about, is there something that he's actually said that's made sense? But don't take out kitchen utensils to try to convince me that the man is smart.
Yeah.
I mean, just use some words that he's used. Like his uncle, that whole thing. Yeah, the plane crash in World War II. Yeah. But what the RFK Jr. movement tells me is, yes, he can be a game changer. But the biggest news to me is that he's on the ballot in Michigan.
Yep.
I mean, it's not like he's on the ballot in a smaller state or, he's on a ballot in a battleground that's in the top 4 that make a difference. So Biden has been in PA in recent times, 8 different visits. He's worried about Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
I look at where he goes to tell me where RFK is going to make the biggest difference against him. Georgia, I don't know. I mean, I sort of think that Trump will win that. I don't know if Biden will go there, but he'll spend a lot of time in Wisconsin as well. And the minute that RFK gets on another one of these, that's the game change. Yes. Then what do? You got a 50-50 chance of beating Trump.
Well, that's why there's a rush to define him. You have Trump saying, he's a Democrat, which he is for all intents and purposes, has been. His family certainly is. And then you have Biden trying to define him as, a Trump acolyte of sorts. So there's a rush to define on both sides.
Right, and then Biden appeared with RFK's family members who no one recognizes. They're like, the only Kennedy that people really recognize other than Caroline is Bobby Jr. And then there are all these, which again, Biden standing atop a fractured family. That's not a good look. But President Trump has a record to run on, and it's the most important thing to voters, and it's the economy. In all 4 of these swing states, who do you trust more to do a good job on the economy? Trump was the answer. Double digits in every state except Wisconsin, and he was still plus 9 points in Wisconsin. And in terms of inflation, for people that every liberal doesn't understand this, inflation is unsettling to people. It causes panic. They see their insurance bills go up double digits and think, I don't know am I going to be able to buy a new car next year? That's what they don't understand. And all they've gotten from Biden is no relief in rhetoric.
Well, it's an extra tax.
Emily, I wanted to follow up on the story we did yesterday where Biden insinuated his family member was eaten by cannibals. Well, there's been a little bit of pushback headlines Daily Mail, quote, they wouldn't just eat any white man that fell from the sky. Outraged Paul Newgate academics lash out at Biden's unacceptable suggestion that cannibals ate his World War II pilot uncle. There you have it, Emily.
Because Joe Biden is not some with it woke 2024 progressive, speaks the language and actually has respect for all individuals. He puts everyone into the same caricature box from the 50s that he was sort of shaped by. So the thought that he would be anything less than disrespectful and assuming in that way, of course. Am I the only one that's not surprised? Of course he would be offensive. He's offensive today just like he was offensive 50 years ago. And he will continue to be. But for some reason, people voting for him think he's the best messenger for the diversity and all the people of color that they purport to be champions of. Quick point about the RFK impact in Georgia, because that's what puts Trump ahead in Georgia. Remember,
Exactly.
Georgia was where Hollywood stepped in. All the white saviors of Georgia, right? They're the voters whose voices need to be amplified. That's where democracy was threatened by Trump. Well, look what happens now, guys.
Yeah.
Well, that's also where the election interference case is. And I still
There
think
you
he
go.
wins it. And Biden's sitting there going, how did this guy beat me in 2 states? RFK Jr. helped him.
And RFK Jr., he is a game changer, so we will keep watching it. We're outnumbered in just a moment.